Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to everybody. Now, you are with the main event venue, and the rest are in. There are people in Teratai. Can you hear some noise in Teratai? Okay, that sounds quite near, but I'll take that extra time, okay? Melo. Now, Melo, hello, wave. Okay. Melo is alive. Okay. All right. All right. So, how is everybody? How's the registration? So, what I'm going to talk to you about, okay, again, what's important in this slide, my name, of course, and also my number, right? I do give my personal number. That's my personal number, so you can text me anytime. Again, Teratai, Melati, and Melor, jot my number, and then that's my email. Usually, I will reply your text. The only rule is if you text me and I don't reply, text again. Because sometimes I do forget, but I don't mind. I don't mind you sending me multiple texts. Hello, please jawab lah. I will, right? I'm being very honest. Okay, so welcome to the oldest faculty, right? If you look around here, you can see it's one of the oldest faculty as well. It's good and it's bad. But the good ones is that you see some new things coming in, but bad is that sometimes you have to bear with some of the surroundings that shows its age. But believe me, we are doing things about it. Anyway, so this is the building. Now this is taken 1960s, this picture. It's quite small, but it's all right. And if you can see, I've highlighted a little bit of yellow, and then the yellow bit, I've also got a circle, yeah? So in this big picture, that refers to the pink building. So that is the original building. That's been here for the past 65 years also, right? So the green arrow at the back, that's where we are. This is called the KDK. If you go out and then you look right, you'll see the taller building, which is the Bangunan Makmal Kimia Baharu. Right? And then the other arrow at the end is quite common as well, because that's where you get your Grab station normally. Normally at the Faculty of Science, that's where you get your transport, normally it's there. Right? Settle. Okay, end of my talk. No, just kidding. So, all right, so this is the oldest faculty, and welcome. First question that I want to ask you, or you may want to ask yourself, is why are you here? Or, what does it mean to be a UM graduate? Right? What does it mean to be a UM graduate? So, anybody here would like to answer? Why are you here? Open question. Come on, yes. Oh, yeah, man. To learn, yep.
To understand what it's like to be a student in university, right?
Excellent. Excellent answer. For the experience. All right. For the rest of you, come on. Come on. Hey. 18, how old are you all?
Let's see, to satisfy my curiosity in the field I'm most interested in.
What field would that be?
In chemistry.
In chemistry, okay? So he wants to further his knowledge, to learn, to experience. Come on, anybody else? Yes.
To pick up soft skills that you will be applying.
Okay, that's a very good answer. Soft skills, all right? Right? Other than that, come on. What about the other rooms? Somebody will have to tell me if there's anybody answering from other rooms. Okay, any more answer? Yes, this is a place to learn, but maybe, why? Why do you want to learn? What good does it do other than just giving you the extra experience and satisfying your curiosity and so on? So what else? Yeah.
Get a job.
Get a job, yeah. Sure. It's a good answer. Yeah. Apa? Lagi. Come on. Yes.
To become more passionate of what you're doing.
Right? Become more passionate, that means with knowledge. In the Malay what? The Malay proverb, tak kenal maka tak cinta or something. Yeah, that means if you don't know, then you don't love. Then once you know, and then you love, and then you regret. Just kidding. No, just kidding. Forget the last bit. Okay. So, all right. So anyway, basically to learn, to gain good knowledge, to get a degree. These are some of the common answers that I get to get experience. I mean, you have answered this, right? And in most cases, you do this because you want to get a job. It's either a job, or a good job, a better job, or a career. And then this would logically translates to better life. This is the most frequent answer that I get. If there are any others, let me know. Right? But these are the ones that normally, I mean, this is what we've been brought up in our education and so on, right? Go to university, get degree, get a job, and so on. But this appeared in the news, in the higher education is becoming increasingly irrelevant. The other one says the failure of higher education, how knowledge becomes irrelevant and college degrees lost their luster. If you read a bit, I don't know whether you can actually see this, it says, as the world continues to evolve in an unprecedented pace, evolves very quickly, it is becoming increasingly evident that traditional higher education institutions are struggling to keep up. Why? The job market is shifting. What does it mean? The needs to get into the job market no longer requires on your degree. In this article, we examine why higher education is becoming increasingly irrelevant. Now, who knows Elon Musk? Okay, who doesn't know Elon Musk? He gave a few speeches. He likes to give talks and so on. Very opinionated guy. In one talk, he says, you don't need a college degree. Now, don't go yet. Don't leave yet. No. But in another talk, he says, education is important. See the distinction? Right? A degree will allow you to open doors and give better opportunities. That is the general standing. It may not be true in 100% of cases, but this is the general standing. But a good education is a lifelong asset. Meaning to say, there is quite a difference between a degree and education. All right? The statement I'm going to put forth to you is that a degree is just an academic qualification. But an education is when you learn to acquire and apply knowledge, to critically assess and manage information, how you get data, and make informed decisions, engage and communicate effectively, demonstrate integrity, resilience. Now, I tell you, you don't get this from academic qualification. Right? And yet, somebody said to want to develop soft skills. So, take the journey here, right? And decide what you want. Right? If we can agree on this, does anybody disagree? It's okay. I know. I'm a professor. But you can disagree. Opinions does not have to have a qualification as such. Right? So, I'm saying that, you are in the position to decide whether at the end of the day you're going to have just an academic qualification or you're going to get an education. If we can agree on that, then we agree that you're not here just for the qualification, you are here for more than that, which is education. If we can agree on that, then that will be the end of part 1, right? And there are about 17 more parts to go. No, I'm just kidding. All right? Because knowing that setting, that sets the scene to our discussion in the following discussion. Anybody who want to raise any questions? Anything that you feel that I say, this is rubbish, and just want to go back, and you can. It's up to you. But if any questions, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, so you're saying that a college degree isn't important, but education is?
Mhm.
But then, what's the point of a college degree then?
As I said, as I've also mentioned, is that it opens doors. The traditional way for the industry, the market to know that you are at a certain level is through you showing them that you have a particular degree or a college degree and so on. But it doesn't tell you whether you are a responsible person, that you can communicate, whether you can, those are all side things that you need to be able to present yourself when you ask for a job later. And these are skills that you have to develop as you go along the way. I've seen more cases, more than enough issues where students graduate with the academic degree but fail to actually develop themselves. And these are the ones that are not attracting the job offers and so on. Yeah? Okay? All right, so now we have agreed that you want more than education. You want more than just an academic scroll. So how do you ensure that at the end of your 3 or 4 years of college degree, of your university degree, that you get education and not just a scroll? How do you ensure that? Can you see this slide? What does it say? By chance or by design. Do you know what that means? I'm sure you know what that means. Yeah? So, is it by chance that you are going to develop yourself to ensure that you're going to get education? Because the key word in what I just mentioned was ensure. Yeah? You want to ensure. So that means to say that you must do something about it. It doesn't come rolling on its own. Correct? Right? So you want to ensure that at the end of your experience here, you not only get great degrees, great with high point. I mean, that goes without saying. Goes hand in hand. The degree, doing well in your degree, but of course, also the soft skills that you're going to develop. By design means you must plan to do it. You must make effort for it to come into your daily activities, in your semesterly plans, in your yearly plans. You must put that in by design. However, you need to know where you want to go. Okay. So, from here onwards, I'm going to talk to you about just 4 steps. 4 steps that will probably be able to help you out if you're interested. Okay? Step number 1, begin with the end in mind. How many of you have ever read any Stephen Covey book? Oh, you have. Excellent. How many habits are there? Never mind. 7, yes, 7. And then plus there's another one called the 8 habit, isn't it? So can you remember the 7 habits? It's okay, I don't remember as well. It's there. It's be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first, think win-win, seek first to understand, synergize. We're not going to go through that. I'm just going to go begin with the end in mind, right? Just 1. It says that a great way to begin with the end in mind is to develop a personal mission statement that use that statement to guide and all what you do. So you must have an end in mind. Where do you want to go? That is a must. If you don't have that, then this is where you'll just go day by day, results, okay, results, no, okay, never mind, there's still next semester, and suddenly it strikes you, hey, you need to do something about it. So you don't want that. You want to start planning now and then begin with the end in mind. Once you have that, don't leave anything to chance. Remember I mentioned by design or by chance? By design. There's even a book, Leave Nothing to Chance. There's 15 principles for success and stories that inspire them. You can read the book and whatnot, but I'm just telling you, no need. I'm just telling you, you just need to make a plan. Now let's talk about plans. It's about goal settings. You want to set your goals, right? All right, you want to set your goals. Let's just get some examples about goal setting, for example. Now, these are some of the, again, I've carried out programs and see that some of those things. So I want to succeed in studies. I want to get a first class degree. I want to get a good job and a good life. Now, my question to you is, are these good goals? Are these good goals? I'm seeing. It's okay, you can whatever jump about if you want. Right? My question remains: are these good goals? Yes. How many of you says yes? I'm here to tell you that these are not good goals. Why? Because in planning, in goal setting, you must have these elements. It must be very specific. I want to succeed? No. I want to get a CGPA of what. I want to get all A's. I want to get whatever. Very specific. And it must be measurable. That means to say, at the end of the day, did you get your 5 A's? No, I didn't get. So that's measurable. Oh, I did get. Did you get your pointer? That's one. So, but if you say, I want to succeed, did you succeed? Very variable, very not clear. You can cheat and so on, right? So you must be able to have criteria that is measurable, achievable. This is very important. That means to say, when you start setting goals, you must set something that you can see you're going to get, because it's very important for you to develop this in your mind to say that I'm a goal getter. And I'm not a quitter. When I plan, I do get. You want to get into that habit. It must be real, right? Like you say, I want to make a plan so that tomorrow by noon tomorrow I get like $2 billion. It's not very realistic unless even for me to even rob a bank or whatever, I probably need more time than that, right? So I like this guy. He laughs at my jokes. Yes, sir.
Unless that is you cheat at gambling, which is still very, 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 very illegal.
I'll probably need you with that because I need to read the statistics and the cards and so on. There are a lot of maths in that as well.
Yeah, too bad I ain't doing that.
Okay, right? And then the final one says time bound. Because you have to come to a point and say, I haven't done it. Or I haven't achieved it. There is a time point. If there's no time point, you'll say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, okay, I'll do it next month. I'll do it next. I'll come do it. I'll do this. I'll do this. There's always a target because it's not time bound. It has to be time bound so that it tells you whether you have achieved it or not. Right? So this is planning. So what I have given you in the PDF or whatever are just some questions, like for example, where do you want to go and what are the characteristics and so on. You can have a look at that. Now, this is the usual behavior thing that everybody goes through. I did as well. Peer pressure as in, I want to study, but my friends say, come on, let's just have a quick drink, and then which turned out to be hours and hours. Yeah, low resilience, procrastinations, too many. This was a study done. This was a study done by previous colleagues, and that these are some of the issues that can affect you. If you have a plan, if you have somewhere you want to go to, there are challenges, and you have to address these challenges. Again, these are challenges. These are challenges that will present itself to you when the time comes. Remember, you want to go somewhere. Now, after you've made a plan, this is keep in check. What is keeping in check? This is where I say, at some point, when you have reached your time, you need to be able to assess whether you have got your plans or not. It's a critical part. And it's also very important that you do this very honestly. Score, symptoms, causes, outcomes, resources. Now, symptoms are like you want to get A's and high CGPAs and so on, but when you get your assignments and so on, they are returning you B's and Z's and D's. These are symptoms. Something is not doing right. You have assignments and you keep missing the deadlines and so on. These are symptoms, something that is not right. You know? You need to identify what are the causes. And then start making changes, and then you say, what are the outcomes you want? What are the resources? Resources is like what you have within you that can help you realign yourself. And then this is where you have your lecturers, your friends. Again, your friends can also be good, can also be bad. It's a critical decisions that you have to make sometimes, right? Resources. What are the, you have your parents, you have your motivators. Sometimes you have, a dean that you can talk to probably. You have the number already. So these are some of your resources. And then what are the effects? The effects is also acknowledging the fact that if you need to change, your life will be changed. In a way, it's going to affect your surrounding, right? Let's say, for example, I always have lunch at 1 o'clock, no matter what. I always have this, and I spend and then I decide that, no, cannot. I'm spending too much time. I need to give a little bit more time to doing my homework or assignments and so on. That also means that probably, my friends are going to say, I'm not going to be able to play, whatever games with you anymore, or things like that. I'm not saying don't play. Play is very important, but you need to balance it. But once you make that decision, that means there will be some repercussions. You agree? And that is the effect that you need to be aware of. Because without change, it's going to be the same. If you walk and there's a hole, or in our recent case, there's a sinkhole, and you keep walking the same route, of course you're going to fall every now and then. Unless you take a different route. You don't just keep praying and so on and say, please, 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 let me not fall into the sinkhole, but yet take the same way. Cannot. It needs a conscious effort to make these changes. I sometimes, if I have time, I do this as a course, Be Smart and Score. It's actually, a program that tells you about planning, and then how to check and so on. So if you can read the first one about specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timeliness, symptoms, causes, outcomes, resources, and effects. Right? Be Smart and Score. Okay? Now, so what's number one again? Huh? Number one is begin with the end in mind. Okay. Number two is make a plan. We haven't gone into number three. I told you about the challenges that you're going to get when you're talking about number three. I told you, how you can keep check and so on. So number three is actually keeping in check, right? Keeping score. And once you have this, in a natural wheel kind of thing, right? And then you're going to start building your CV. And this is the book that I use, the Brilliant Employability Skills. It's actually quite interesting. I actually bought it. It says, create an employable you. Right? What are the skills that you need? I mentioned. So in the little note that I've given you, right? It tells you the first question is like, what was the first question? Okay, anybody here download it? What's the first question? Anybody? What are my career options? Right? What are your career options? And give it a few. Or if you're maybe very specific, I only want this and I'm going to do this, which is even better. You're very, single-minded. I want this. I'm going to go for it. You can do that. What's question number 2?
What do I need to ensure a good chance of getting there?
What are the requirements that you need to ensure? So this is where you talk about what are the skills that you need to do. So there are specific skills, there are generic skills. Generic skills are what? Leadership, communication, teamwork, creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, whatever. Put it down, write it down, right? In the right hand side, there are some examples as well, right? Put it down because, well, I'll get back to that. And specific skills related to the job. Maybe, for example, you want to be a data analyst. So you'll need maybe what? Some coding experience, right? The skills, coding skills, where you need to look at data, you need to be able to do scripts. If you're interested in doing DNA diagnostics, for example, then you'll have to learn about DNA sequencing, and also these are the skills that you need to develop so that it will give you the path to where you want to go. All right? These are specific skills. You say, I want to be a journalist. I want to be a reporter. I want to be a writer. Then maybe writing is your skill. Maybe taking notes is your skill. Maybe being investigative is your skill. Write it down. Why? Because once you write it down, the next thing you want to do is you must be able to grade yourself. Whatever grade, I'm just giving an example. Communication, you have to judge yourself. Am I good at communication? What would I give myself? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I mean, 5 being good. 1 maybe needs work. So put it there. Whatever. Here are some examples. Problem solving. Am I good at problem solving? Right? Am I good at taking notes? Am I good at whatever? Presentation skills? Put it there. And for each of the category, you need to evaluate yourself honestly. If you find that your answers are all 5s, it's either you're excellent, you don't need help, or you're not being honest to yourself. In which case, go and get a friend. Right? Go and get a friend to do it for you. Now, you know me for, how many, maybe for the past 2 weeks. It's quite good also. What are the first impression on you? Then can you tell me how I communicate? Am I okay? There's no right or wrong in this answer. It's just for you as a reference, how you see yourself and how people see yourself. Because once you do that, then you'll know, I need to work on some things. Yeah? I need to work on something. I need to work on leadership. I need to work on my communication, because when I talk to people rarely understand. Or maybe when I give a presentation, people always say, please raise your voice. Please be clear. That means you don't have that. So you need to be able to gauge and then decide what are you going to do about it. Again, it's on the right side of that note, where you actually talk about this. What do you want to develop? Write it down. For example, I want to develop teamwork. And then you start thinking, okay, where do I get teamwork? You can either figure out yourselves, talk to your seniors, talk to the lecturers, talk to me, talk to friends, talk to HEB, Just last week I got a message from this guy was trying to get a slot from me to promote his drama theatre club. So if you're interested, you can tell me and I give you his number. He's actually coming up with a theatre club and things like that. It's an excellent place for you to improve yourself. Let's say if you're talking about teamwork, there will be multiple chances, there are a multitude of chances for you to join projects. If you are if you're not that there yet with leadership, volunteer, learn. As long as you don't volunteer, you will never get the experience that you require. Right? You need to take that first step. And so now you know what you want, and then you need to convince yourselves why they are important, and then what are the actions for you to take, when to action. Can you see that? That is actually part of your SMART planning. Right? And then how do you demonstrate? How do you know that you're okay? And then at the end of it must be a time for completion. And this is what you need to do. Okay? It's cliche, it's boring, it's not something that you look for, but if you go back to my first question, how do you ensure that at the end of 4 years, you get your scroll as well as education? This is the way to do it. Okay? So it's all a cycle. It's all a cycle, planning, keeping in check, and becoming the best version of you. And this is continuous. This is continuous because at my age, I still feel that there are a lot of things that I can improve on. You know, there's a lot of things that I want to learn. There's a lot of things that I want to share and so on. Right? So this should be, and in that cycle needs to be something that is an ongoing thing. All right? We are almost there. So number 1, what is it again? Begin with the end in mind. Number 2, make a plan. Number 3, keep in check. And number 4, start building your CV. Right? You ensure that when you graduate, you have all the characteristics of a good CV that is impressive to the employers. That's why you need to know. That's why you need to think about, and you want to go to get there, how do I get to do all this? Okay? Now, if you want the slides, the top QR is for the slides. If you're interested at any point. But again, I'm giving you my number, and I'm giving you my email. The bottom QR is actually another talk that I gave during, it's about a 45 minutes talk about dolphins in Malaysia. It's what I think they actually put up a video in TV3 or whatever, right? But I think that's the one that I actually gave a talk and tell you what we're doing and what kind of results we're having, and so if you're interested, right? Okay? So you survived. I think that's it. Any questions?